Morning, another quick one. The reason I'm showing you all this stuff is because if I don't show you, it'll get buried. Do you have to do everything I'm doing? Well, the Tyvek you do. I believe that would actually be code today, and you'd be silly not to. I've seen shingles applied directly to plywood. I've seen them applied over spacer boards, as you might have in your roof if it was old. I've seen them over felt paper. This is what I did at my house. When I did my roof, I did the entire roof in ice and water shield. Then I put down my breather mat, and then I applied my shingles. So I'm going to show you, I've talked a lot about Grace and Ice and Water Shield. You won't get to see it when I'm done. Nobody will ever know it's there. But I think it's important. And why do I think it's important? Because I understand water. I don't like to figure out where it's leaking from because water goes uphill, as silly as that sounds. But by doing some of this, I'm guaranteeing it won't leak. And Ed and Vivi are my friends, but so is anybody I work with. Because if they're not my friends, or they don't become my friends, or they're assholes, I'm not going to work with them. Personally, my life's too short. Anyway, back to the real thing. Ice and Water Shield. It's a product made by Grace. It's fairly thick. I don't know, a good 1/8 of an inch. I can't wait till I get a good camera. It's self-adhesive, so you just slap it on. If you're going to leave it on and not do anything for a day or two, put a couple of the cap nails in. So what I did is I put it on the bottom flush with the end of the plywood. The reason for that is water goes down and then drips. That's why we have things called drip edges. Well, I'm not putting a drip edge at the bottom of the siding. That's wrong to do because it captures water. I don't like the caulk. Caulk was made by God after he made carpenters, if you get what I'm saying. So I'd like to do a better job than that. So what I did is I ran it first across the bottom of the board. Then I take the corner and I come down over the top like you would any flashing. This will go all the way up. And then if you'll see up there by the copper, it's got to stand up. I ran it behind that flashing, that's that piece of copper up there. It actually goes, because I used a Sawzall, goes back, what is that, a good 6 inches or something. Then I came down with the piece across the top of the flashing. You wouldn't have to do that one. I do it as an extra precaution. I'm doing it now because I doubt I'll shingle this thing for a good month. Then when I go to do the roof, I'll be taking that bottom shingle out, going behind that copper tin. Once I get my shingles all the way up there, there'll be a layer of flashing that goes behind and down. So if water does get in, again, it comes out right away within that first shingle. After you put the Ice and Water Shield on, the next step, that's called a breather. And what that does, it's like just a nice mesh. That goes on behind the Tyvek, but if I did that, you wouldn't be able to see it. That particular material also comes with Tyvek over it. What that does is if water is going to drip behind wood because it absorbs moisture. So that'll pull all the moisture that does go to the back is going to slide right down there. It's like a big weep. When I get here by the doors, what I do at any door I'm working on, my warm board floor will come all the way out to the edge to the plywood. Once that's in, then I'll put Ice and Water Shield across the top and all the way down. Over here on the block, I told you in one of the last episodes, what I'm doing is I'm covering the seam between the wood and the block. If any moisture gets in there, that's another bummer. So I think these things are important. Do you have to do them all? No. Some of the things I'm doing, do you have to do them? No. Are they a code? No. Do I want it to last? Do I want to continue to have the reputation I have? Yeah, that's important to me. The other thing is one of my thoughts is I could do a video. So you say you want to be your own general contractor. Here's things you should look out for. Here's things I recommend. So as I'm thinking, I'm going down a lot of paths. I don't know who made up the rule when you come to a fork in the road, you can only take one. I'm taking 4 or 5. So Sorry that this is a long one. This is, I think, one of the most important things. Water. The only worse enemy to water than your home is fire. Thanks, kids.